Hello everyone. So in this project we are going to analyze the data of automobiles. In this we have a data of cars in which there are names, the company and the average mileage and everything related to that car. We are going to analyze these 8 questions in that project. The requirement of these projects are we should have a CSV file of this project in which the data is in this file, and our Python notebook should be in the same folder. So after make sure these two are satisfied, we will start this project. First, we have to load the data. In order to work on any project, we have to load this data using pandas. And to use pandas, we have to first import pandas. So we will first import pandas as PD. This line will import the pandas, and after importing we will use a read CSV function which will read the CSV file, and we will create a data frame using it. To create this we will be using a read CSV function which is inside pandas. In order to use pandas function, you have to first write the library name which we have imported as PD. This is an alias name for pandas, so we have used PD dot read underscore CSV. After read CSV, you have to write the name of that file. Now sometimes we don't know the name of the file, so we can just type it, or to avoid any typing mistake, we can use another method using ls. This is a Unix command which will list all the files and folders inside the current directory. If we run this, we can see this, we are in this current directory and this is our CSV file. We have to select this and with the .csv and copy it. After that copying it, we can go to the read CSV and paste it here. After pasting it, we can save this in a data frame called df. Now we have saved it in a df. We don't need this now. We can delete this. And now if we can see df, we can see this data. To start any project, we first have to understand the data and to check whether it is correct or not. That means the correct table column headers, correct data types on these columns. To check this, we can use dot head to show only the top 5 rows. We don't need to show the whole data frame, so you can just select dot head to check the top 5 rows. After that, you can use dot info to check the data types of these. After running this, we can check all of these columns has a correct data type or not, like this body style, length. You can check all of these, horsepower and price. There is nothing wrong in it. There are all correct data types. The numbers are in a number format and the decimals are in a decimal format and the text are in a text format. So there is everything correct. We are going to start with the first question. So the first question is, what is the average price and average mileage for convertible cars? Okay, so in this we have to find out the average price and average mileage of only convertible car. So what is a convertible car? It is a body style type. We can see this, there is a column called body style which has a convertible and different body styles. So we are going to analyze only the data of convertible car with an average mileage and average price. Okay, so let's start this. So first, in order to only find the data of convertible car, we have to select only the data for convertible. For that, we will be selecting df and then a square bracket and press tab so that we can select the column. So we are going to work with the body style. So we have selected the body style. Double equals to convertible. This is to check if that value is convertible or not. After doing this, we will get a Boolean array in which there will be true where the body style will match the convertible. With this Boolean array, we can filter the data frame. In order to filter this data frame, we will use this conversion and put it in a square bracket and write a df at the start of it. This will filter all the data with only convertible cars. After getting the data for only convertible car, we will create a group for average, mileage and price. Okay, so we only need these two columns. First is average mileage. Okay, when we are working with only single column, we can write it like this. But if we are working with more than one column, we will pass this as a list. So instead of passing it directly, we will create a list in which we will be putting average mileage and the price. Okay, after selecting these two columns from this data frame, we will use a dot mean method to get the average of these two. After passing it with dot mean, we can find that the average mileage of a convertible car is 19.6 and the average price is 22,341. Okay, so this was the answer of our first question. Now we will move to the second question. Sort cars by company and price in descending order. We have to sort the price, sort the data according to the company name and the price. In order to do this, we will use a sort by method. To use this sort by method, we will first call the data frame. This is the data frame in its original form. To use dot sort by, we will pass dot sort values. Okay, so we are going to sort values by, so we will pass an argument by, and in this we will be using company name and the price in a descending order. So there are more than one column, so we will pass a list of this. First there will be company and then there will be price. Okay, after this the default is ascending. After running this, we can see that it has arranged it in an ascending order. Like these are from A, so it has arranged them. After there are same name in a same company, it arranged the data in ascending order of a price. We want it in descending order, so we will pass ascending equals to false. This is an argument which let us arrange them in ascending order or descending order. By default, it is set in ascending. After running this, we can see that the company has now arranged in a descending order. First, it will sort the data on the basis of company, and then it will sort the data on the basis of price. So this was the solution for the second question. Now the third question. Save data for Toyota separately. In this question, it is asking us to save the data for Toyota company separately. Now, what is this Toyota? Toyota is a name of a company. So we want a data frame of only Toyota cars. And to save it separately, we will use a .toCSV method. A toCSV method will let us save the data frame into a file. So first we have to find the data of Toyota. To find this, we will be selecting the previous method which we use. We use df to filter and we will use a df of company. In which company is equals to Toyota. After filtering the data frame for the company Toyota, we will save this data frame to a CSV file. To do this, after writing the code which give you a data frame, just write dot to CSV at the last of it. And we have to specify the file name, Toyota data. You have to specifically say that this is a CSV file. Now after giving it a name, you can check that we are working on this current folder. We have only 3 files. We don't have a Toyota data.csv file. But after running this, we will get a CSV file. Let me refresh this. After refreshing, we can see that the 4 seconds ago, this was the data. After clicking it, we can see that the data for the company Toyota has been saved separately in a CSV file. Okay, so we have done the question number 3 too. Which company is producing most expensive car? This is the 4th question. Now, how we can find that which company is producing the most expensive car? We can do this with the multiple ways. First, we can arrange the data in a descending order so that the most expensive car will be at the top of the data, and we will use to find only the top row. We can do this, or we can find the maximum price of a car and compare it with the column. Okay, so there are 2 ways to find this. We will use the most simple way. To do this, we will arrange the data in a descending order of price. So to arrange the data, we will use .df and use sort values. We have to specifically tell a column. So it is by, and by which column we will be arranging it with price. After arranging it with price, we will get this data frame in which the top row will have the maximum price. Okay. By default, it work on ascending order, so we will have to ascending equals false. I forget this. So now this is like the top row will have the maximum price, and we only want the top first row, so we can use the dot head method. We will use dot head to get the top row of this, and we have passed 1 to get the only single row. And after running it, we will get only the top row, so we can get that the company is Mercedes-Benz. Now we want a name of only the company name. We can filter this data frame. This is a data frame, so we can easily filter a data frame by using square bracket and passing that column name. So this is our answer. The Mercedes-Benz has the highest priced car. Now, move to the next question. Name the car on the basis of maximum horsepower. Now the question number 5 is asking us to find out the car which has the maximum horsepower. So how can we do this? Just like we have done with this, the price, we can do this with the horsepower. So the horsepower okay, just a second, df dot sort values and by horsepower. Now by default it will arrange the data in the ascending order, so we will pass ascending equals false, so that we get a data in a descending order. After doing this, we can see that the horsepower with the maximum is 288 and this is the push. So we can do the same. We only want the top row, so we will use the head method, and we only want the company name, so we can filter the data. No, company name. So this is the company name Porsche, which produced the maximum horsepower car. Okay, so let's move to the next question, and the next question is company wise average price of car and order them in descending order. Now company wise average price, this means that we want an average price for each and every company which is in our data, and after getting this we want to order that result in a descending order. So how can we do this? We can use a group by method to find out the average price on the basis of every company, and after getting this we will do this to arrange that in descending order. So let's do this. First of all, we need to create a group on the basis of company. Okay, so creating a group is df. You have to first call the df and use group by. Group by is a function which is used to create a group on the basis of any column, and we have to pass the column name in which we have to make groups. So that's a company. So we will creating a group. After creating a group, it will create the group, but we want an average price of every company. So we have to specify that using a square bracket, we will pass the column which will we want to average. We can pass more than one column by passing a list in it. We are working with only single column, so we can just pass it with a single inverted comma. And the aggregation function, this is important. The aggregation function which we are going to use is dot mean. If we want a maximum, minimum, or a sum, we can pass that, but we actually want the mean, so we will pass the mean company wise average price. Okay, so we will use dot mean, and after running this line we will get average price of every company's car. Okay, we are getting this data in the decimal format. We don't want this, so we can round the data, so we can use dot round to it, and we don't want, we can just round it to 0. So now we getting this data. Now this is not in ascending order. Actually this is not in the desired result. We want the data to be in a descending order. Currently it is arranged on the basis of company's name, so you can see that the A to B to Z to okay, so we need to sort this data on the basis of company's average price, so we can use dot sort values. Now there is only a single column, or we can say there is only a single series, so we don't have to pass the by. We only need to pass the by argument when we are dealing with a data frame. We just have to pass the ascending equals to false, because the question is asking us to arrange the data in descending order. So we only need to pass ascending equals false. Now we can see this, the data has been arranged on the basis of values, and the maximum values is on the top and the minimum is on the bottom. So this is the answer for our 6th question. Now moving to the 7th question. Now what is 7th question? Create a column named decision. We have to create a column which will be the name of decision, and in that column we will have to calculate if we are going to buy that car or don't buy. Now what is the criteria to buy or don't buy that car? is on the basis of its wheelbase and its length. So, if the wheelbase is less than 100, any car which has a wheelbase of less than 100 and the length is less than 175, then we are not going to buy that car. So we will mark that car as don't buy. Else, every other car which has above the wheelbase of 100 and the length of 175, we will buy that car. So how we can create this new column? There are various ways. We will use .where method. Now the where method is in numpy. Okay, so we will have to import numpy in order to use .where method. To do this, we will at the starting we should have imported numpy also, but we can do this right now also. So we will import numpy as np. So now we have imported numpy as np. So we will using a where method in numpy. So we will use np.where. It is similar to Excel's if function. First you have to pass the condition. After that condition can only give two answer, true or false. If it return true, what will be the return? What will be the result? Will be on the second argument, and if it is will be false, the third argument we should have to pass like that. Okay, let's do this. So the wheelbase should be 100 and the length should be, okay, let's just copy this. Okay, so we will use np.where. Now np.where, we first have to pass a comparison on the basis of df's wheelbase. The first question is if wheelbase is less than 100. So the wheelbase series is less than 100. Now and the length is less than 175. So the length is less than 175. Then we will use the comma and give a true result. If this comparison return true, the output will be don't buy. Else, what will be the output? The output will be buy. There is one problem, I guess. The n should be like this, and we will have to pass it in the round brackets. Okay, so the changes I have made, instead of using and, we will use an ampersand operator because we are not dealing with a single value, and the two comparison need to be inside a round bracket. So the df wheelbase is less than 100 should be inside a round bracket, and then we will use an ampersand sign, and we will use a round brackets where for df length is less than 175. And after that we will get a result of an array. Now we need this array to be a column. So what we will use, we will create a data frame df and has a column decision. Okay, so this was our main question. We need to create a column decision on the basis of wheelbase is less than 100 and the length is less than 175. After running this, our column has been created. Now let's check this column by df.head. So we can see this column decision in which it has marked the cars with don't buy and buy decision. Okay, so we have completed the 7th question too. Now it's the last question which we need to get. Select only cars whose decision is buy. Find average price based on company of cars. Okay, first we need to understand this question. What we need to do is to filter the data on the basis of decision. Okay, so we are only working with the cars which has the decision buy. So first we have to filter the data. After that filtering, we will find the average price of a car. Okay, after filtering the data, we will find the average price of a car. So to do this, we will first filter the data on the basis of decision. Okay, so where the decision is buy. Okay, so we just, oops, there is some mistake. Okay, so this is a whereby we will pass it in a df. This will filter our data frame and filter only the cars which have a decision of buy. Okay, so we can see this. Now we have to create a group. On the basis of this data, we will pass the group by method. Now we have to create a group on the basis of company, so we will pass company in it. And after that we need an average price on that basis, so we will pass price at the end, and after that we will use an aggregation function which will be our mean. And after running this, we will get a data frame with average price on the basis of company whose decision is buy. Okay, so this was the answer of our 8th question. Thanks for watching this video. You can find this file on the description of this video. You can download it and work with this. Thanks for watching. Likes and subscribe for more projects like this.